We're on air.
Hello, welcome back. It's Tuesday. That means it's time for an edition of Violent Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mox, as always, joined by my co-host Ambrose Alley. How are you?
Hey, I'm here getting
We're
kissed by
gonna
the dog.
Cassie the Wonder Dog. Usually there's a name that comes after Ambrose Alley, but he will be with us shortly, so he's not here at the moment. That would be Metal Matt. He's at work. He should be here momentarily. Unfortunately, and with love, but some things happened tonight on SmackDown that it's going to make interpretive conversation for later. Anywho, leads us to Mr. Do not confuse him with Cincinnati Adam Rice.
Hello, hello. Yes, that is Kentucky. Just so we're all
Ugh.
clear. Although I hear
And
Mox was enjoying their chili earlier.
oh, that's sir. And coming back for his third appearance on a Violent Wrestling podcast, the very special, the very, I cannot call him 9 years old anymore since he had a birthday Sunday and is now 10, my son, Mr. Morris.
Hello.
Hey, buddy, you're losing signal a little bit.
Well, hello, guys.
How are
Hello,
you?
hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm done
I
with
don't
it.
know why you say hello, I say goodbye.
Finally, I'm done
Dating.
with it.
The reason he's here, it's Morris. I started to make a comparison to Joey Janela's spring break, but he's on spring break this week, so figure might as well. Nothing better to do than chill and talk some wrestling and stuff. And since he doesn't have to get up early, go ahead and get him on here and let's talk some wrestling. First and foremost, everybody's week. Everybody okay?
So far, so good. Nothing, no reason to walk out into traffic yet.
Oh, damn it!
Seriously.
It's still early in the week.
I know, right?
AA, how was your week since last week?
Well, you can't tell we had a blizzard last week.
Has that finally cleared up?
Yeah, but
Good
it
deal.
looks like we're supposed to get some rain Friday. But other than that, having a good week.
Do I dare ask you, Morris, how your week's been? Since
Yes.
how's your week been?
Fantastic.
Nice. Did you have a good birthday?
Yes. One of the best birthdays ever. Love
Nice.
gifts. Love gifts. With
A
the
lot of
travel.
gifts, cake.
And
Yeah.
best
Why
of
don't we?
all,
Go ahead.
turning double digits. Especially that.
I thought you were about to go somewhere else with when you said you went to eat at Chavo's for lunch. I thought you were about to say something about some kind of proposing or something you did.
Oh, why did you bring that up?
Because, Morris, your father has told everybody.
Everybody already knows.
Seriously, Daddy, why did you do that?
Because
Because
we're planning your guys' wedding. I'm not making that up.
yes, seriously, like we're AA's a bridesmaid. Like there's a long list. We already have the officiator, bridesmaids, the who's doing the catering, who's doing the entertainment.
Someone's becoming an ordained minister and all.
Yes. Like,
Hey,
and this is
Dad.
legit. Yes, sir.
Can some of your friends come down for my wedding when I get to that
I
point?
I think that's the plan, sir.
You know,
That's
your friends.
Yeah, we're
I'll
all
okay.
definitely be there.
your dad volunteered to fly all of us down, so you know.
Sir, sir. Okay, since this is, I hate this topic so much. I mean, I love Young Love and I love his girlfriend Emma and stuff. Like everything's fine there, but yeah, let's
We just enjoy spending your money a lot.
um, we did. Damn it. Um, Anywho, you guys are the worst.
And I'm the best.
Oh
He got you on that one.
yes. Um, Morris. You can't really segue into this, but you weren't here last week to give your thoughts on Fastlane and whatnot. So we're gonna do a quick rundown on that and get your thoughts. We opened the show. I was just right there, and then you guys got me all flustered with marriage and love and
Now you're
marriage.
just doing it to yourself.
um, Morse, we opened the show with the Usos versus Miz and Shane. Before we get into what happened later, what do you think of the match itself?
I kind of thought it's about Usos finally. I think they won. They won.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
happy about that. But the strangest part about that is at the end of the match when
Oh,
Shane and Miz turned and Shane turned on the Miz. I'm actually pretty curious about why Shane did that.
well,
He's a
And,
McMahon.
and if we
yes,
watch SmackDown tonight, we'll finally figure it out. If we watched
yes.
it, Dad. It said Monday
Well,
Night Raw. But what did you
I'm
just
wrong.
say?
I'm wrong about what? Anyway,
What did
um,
you
then, but yeah. So Shane, they had Shane turn heel on Miz, and they did explain last week on SmackDown and this week on SmackDown a little bit more. We'll get. We're not going to rehash SmackDown and stuff from last week, but basically AA gave the answer as because he's a McMahon. That's um. And next up, we have Asuka defending the SmackDown against Sonya Deville, or against Mandy Rose with Sonya
I wish it
Deville.
was against Sonya Deville.
Should have been against Sonya Deville. What did you think, Moski?
I think of it as a pretty easy guess on who's gonna win.
Yeah, like you, it was your prediction. Like it was a
That
very
was
short match.
a very boring match. We already knew who's gonna win.
Who do you like better out of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville?
Mandy.
Of course, you
That's your
hush can't.
favorite too.
I'm a Sonya fan. Candace, people can hear you. Okay, anyway, moving on. We have I remember the backstage segment where Kofi's trying to they he needs to talk to the family, the McMahon family, and they tell us that it's going to be a triple threat, and we think he's put into the WWE title match, and come to find out it's a handicap match against the Bar. I know this when we watched it kind of really irked you. Are you still irked that they did that?
Well, I think this was just a bummer for Kofi. I can't believe Mr. McMahon just told a big lie to Kofi. I just can't believe that. Who agrees with me?
No. Well,
And by the way, just ignore the stuff in the background. That's just our dogs being dogs.
yeah, and you're oh, that would be one of them. And your signal's getting a little shady again. Um, Anyway, to go on to the next match, Revival and versus Bobby Roode, Chad Gable. Um, any thoughts on this match? Oh, it's a triple threat with Alistair and Ricochet too. Sorry, for the Raw Tag Team Championship.
I think about this match was, uh, I really thought Alistair and Ricochet were gonna win,
They should have.
and
Boy,
but all because of Chad Gable, the revival won because he had to jump up, didn't he? Because the heavy machine. What's the revival's finisher called, Dad?
The shoot. Help me out, Rice. The shat.
Oh, the Shattering Machine. Yeah, that's what it's called.
But they retain, and I know you're a big Ricochet, Alistair Black fan, so you're disappointed with that.
Oh,
Moving on,
thank you.
your signal is really bad, buddy. Moving on, we
Yeah,
get to Samoa Joe defending the U.S. title against R-Truth, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio. Joe winning with a Coquina clutch on Mysterio. What do you think about this?
I thought of it as a pretty cool match.
I thought it was one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah, I'm I'm just like you, Dad. I'm always just like you.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't
okay.
hide from that. You can't hide from
Uh,
that.
and then we move on to the Boston Hug Connection defending their belts against your favorite tag team in the world, Nia and Tamina.
Who's?
Yours.
Oh, I never said I liked that. But
I know. I was giving you a hard time.
yeah, you
You
always
you
me all the time, every day.
you don't like them.
0%. If I give if I gave my total of how much I like them, 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10, huh?
I do not
Uh,
like.
it's pretty cool seeing Beth Phoenix at the end, though, right? Seeing her
Yeah,
again.
and just one night ago, she came out of retirement.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Um, next, we finally get the triple threat match, and um, Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan make their way out, and we're all thinking, okay, they beat up Kofi earlier, so it's going to be Kofi, and he's going to be hurt, or it's going to be, and we get Mustafa Ali, which is pretty good call. What do you think of the match, Mosky?
I thought about this match was I didn't actually get to see the match because it
Uh,
remember it kept messing up.
oh yeah, we got to see bits and pieces, and we caught the beginning. We missed some of the middle, at least live. I watched it when you were at school, and then at the end with Daniel Bryan retaining. So yeah, we'll skip that one. Um, and then Becky versus Charlotte. Becky wins, goes to WrestleMania. Charlotte wins. Becky's out.
And that was the
Um,
best match ever.
that was the best match ever.
I like Becky now.
Again? Uh
Yes.
oh.
Sorry about that.
You like? Okay then. Well, that he went from liking Becky to not liking Becky to hating Becky to liking Becky all within about what 2 months, guys?
something like that.
Yeah, it basically tells you the story writing with this one.
Hey, Dad.
Like yes, sir.
Sorry about all the noise in the background. That's just our dogs being stupid like they always are. That's
Okay.
actually Buster getting into it.
As far as I don't know if it's bothering Mr. Rice or Miss AA, but it's I can hear a little bit of it, but it's not really bothersome or overtaking.
No,
Guys,
there's
it's
nothing wrong with it.
okay.
But can you
Um,
come help us? I'm tired of this.
tired of what?
Of the dogs going crazy all the time.
Of having to mute it?
Yes, every time. Every time before I have to answer a question, they go into it.
Then just ignore the dog, son. Um, then we move on to one of the things that happened throughout the night was all the Elias appearances. They were pretty funny. Him just giving it to. This was in Cleveland, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the show
Anyway,
was in Cleveland last year. It was in Columbus. I don't know why.
yeah,
I don't know why Ohio's become Fastlane Central, but
because Lord knows it's not. Moving on real quick
yeah,
to the anticipated match you're looking forward to, Modi, and that's the Shield reuniting one last time, trademark, against Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Um, I don't know, you can't speak on much of this, and it's my fault for not replaying it later in the week, but you fell asleep during this match. You almost made it to the end,
Yeah. But you
but
told me about it.
yeah, I told you everything that happened, and
And the team of Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre got beat up.
yes, the
Really
Shield
good.
went to town. Yes,
Yeah, that was a pretty cool match because it's one of my favorite tag teams in it.
yes, like how.
Shut up, dog.
Okay, don't do that. Um, Overall, what do you think of the pay per view?
I would give it a B.
A B. Okay, nothing wrong with that. It could have been a lot worse. It was okay. Like I said last week, like it was some of it was the bad was bad, but the good was pretty good, and it wasn't the worst pay per view they've ever put on by any means.
yeah, certainly they've. Uh, Anybody who's 100% crapping on Fastlane as a show, I understand there were some really bad moments, but there were some really good ones in there. So if
Yeah, I think.
if you're
Go ahead.
getting a C pay per view from WWE these days, that's a good thing.
I think Morris is a little generous with his grade. But yeah, I'd do a C plus maybe just for the Shield callbacks and stuff. But I could see where somebody, give it a B.
Hmm.
Moving on.
Moving right along.
Real quick, screw you, Adam, and your Ohio State Buckeyes for making the NCAA basketball tournament, and our Texas Longhorns, getting snubbed and having to play in the NIT. You guys suck. The committee sucks. Everything about the committee sucks.
Hey, how's Rick Barnes doing at Tennessee?
Hey,
Sir,
hey.
sir,
Just
sir,
wanted to ask.
Hey,
sir,
Dad.
sir.
Why do you have to be so harsh on Adam? Mr. Adam.
I, sir, I've known Mr. Adam for quite a while, and it's just what we do. Um,
Yeah, you text each other about stuff every day.
yeah, we're friends. That's what some friends do.
Just like your
Um,
mom.
he gives it back to me. He doesn't do it a lot on air, except he just did with the Rick Barnes comment. We're just
Man, what
having
is it?
fun.
What is it that the state of Tennessee has against you personally? I mean, there's Rick Barnes and Bud Adams and
What the fuck? They come before us alphabetically.
just one right after the other.
But if anybody listening does March Madness brackets, we've
Oh,
got one set up on ESPN. You can find it under the tournament challenge. You can either enter the group ID, which
Well,
is 2882273. Again, that's 2882273, or search by the group name, Cage Side, one word, Seats, one word, Madness, one word. So three words. Cage Side, Seats, Madness, three words. Um, Come on,
And
you
you're
can
also
get.
welcome to try those as your lottery numbers.
We call it the Morse what is going to kick your ass invitational because he always seems to win when it comes to March Madness. Um, like people on Twitter and stuff last year or even the year before, like who had so and so making it to the Elite Eight or the Final Four, and Morse did. Like he always seems to pick the Cinderella, the 12 seed that makes it real far.
well,
Uh,
Dad.
last year, last year was who was it? Mosky Loyola Chicago. You picked.
Yeah, yes, sir. I did. I picked Loyola Chicago. They made it to Final Four, I remember, but they didn't win.
No, but you had them in the Final Four, so that's nobody else. So yeah, there's that. Rice still sucks.
Hmm.
Ohio State sucks.
Yes.
Cleveland, Cleveland sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, enjoy your one game in the tournament, Rice, because that's all you're gonna get. Enjoy that
At least
early
I will
exit.
have a game in the tournament, sir.
Sir, the NIT is just as important as the NCAA tournament. I can't even say
What
that
year?
with a straight face.
What year is this? 1865.
Maybe. Okay. So, um, anybody heard from Matt?
Not yet.
Come on, bud. Come on, bud. I didn't really want to get to AA. What's happening with Rocky Mountain Pro, or did you want to hold off and do that tomorrow?
Um, Rocky Mountain Pro has another big event coming up.
What is it?
Don't leave us
Uh,
hanging.
they have their big at the end of the month. They have their big wrestling camp coming up with Brutal Bob Evans.
Oh yeah, yeah. I read about that on Twitter. And aren't they doing? Is that the same time with Marty the Moth, or those two different?
No, Marty the Moth's going to be there.
Okay, that's the same. Okay,
He's going to be at the wrestling camp, and then
yeah.
that weekend they're excuse me, at then they're having another big event where I think Al Snow is supposed to be there.
Head, 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 head.
Head. I have my head.
Whoa,
It
whoa.
wasn't talking about.
Well,
No, I do.
Dad.
I have one of them
Oh, the
mannequin head,
styrofoam.
the
Oh, the
styrofoam head.
mannequin head. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
Awesome. Like an original from the 90s or a more recent one?
more reason one that uh, a friend of mine who's a fan of Rocky Mountain Pro gave to me.
You need to get it autographed by Al next time you see him.
I should.
Daddy,
Yes, sir.
can you do a chant of Akira Tozawa?
Sir.
Can you do the thing
Oh,
Akira
um,
Tozawa does?
one of the birthday presents he got was uh, 205
Akira.
Live Kazura Tozawa Elite figure. And when he opened it, I went, ha, 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 ha. So, his little chant thingy that he
Hmm.
does. Yeah. Morris
You
loves when
know,
I do it for whatever reason. I think I sound silly, but he likes it.
speaking of old Al Snow, um, today, as you guys may have heard, Al Snow now owns and runs Ohio Valley Wrestling, the former developmental territory for WWE and Impact. Well, today they just announced that OVW's re-signing with Impact as their
Oh,
developmental territory.
oh, I did not read that.
Um,
That could be interesting.
it could be. The issue is I don't know. I don't know if that relationship paid dividends the first time. In the
Uh,
second,
Definitely not in the way it paid dividends for WWE, but
no. And I don't. And I mean this in the best way possible. And I mean this in no disrespect to one less to oh Danny Davis,
yeah.
who's run OVW for years, but up until recently. But there were more the people running OVW, helping with OVW during that period of time for WWE. I would put
Excuse
in a
me.
class above Mr. Danny Davis, and I don't mean
Oh,
the
yeah,
guys like
easily.
Cornette, Jim Cornette, and Paul Heyman was down there, and at one point in time, so there were people there who could make that work as well with Mr. Davis doing the training. Now that it's Al, and I like Al, Al has a great mind for the business if you've ever heard him talk in shoot interviews. But one of the problems they have, OVW might have a better TV deal than Impact.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Hell, OVW has their own subscription service now.
yes. And wasn't not just too long ago, like maybe a couple years ago, three or something like that. Um, weren't they about to go defunct? Like, weren't they about to go under? Like under
I'm,
Davis, like 2012, 13, something like that.
I don't know. I know they've run shows consistently.
But somewhere I
Um,
remember reading them having like big financial problems, and
I
it was
could,
like being considered like,
yeah, I think you're right, but I don't remember. But um, Al
shut
Snow
up, Emma.
basically bought the company and
Good.
has been running it for the last however many. It's not. It hasn't been a year, but
Wonder why that news is just coming out then, or well, the news must be that them going back to Impact Developmental.
yeah, they
Yeah,
signed a new deal.
yeah.
Um,
Hey, Dad.
Maybe because, like you said, they have a better TV deal. Like, put the Impact on the OVW deal.
on the subscription
Yeah.
service.
Yes, sir. What'd you say?
Uh,
What's up, Mosky?
One of our dogs just took a paper towel.
Uh huh.
He was just in the corner of her chair.
All I can hear is Elmo. I'm assuming Shadow's the one that took my paper towel.
Yeah, he was just right next to the PlayStation. It's no.
Oh, he knows better than be over there.
Yeah, he just went
Mama
over
better get
there.
him.
She did. She just whopped him with the belt.
When he
Yeah,
says
that's how.
whoop with a belt, like we have a belt and we don't like haul back and whoop. We like tap, like warning, like just literally just like a finger tap. But they hate the sound of the belt buckle makes. Like that gets their attention. Hmm.
Yeah, that's our only weapon we use.
We can tell mom if she wants to. She can let the little dogs out, and that would
William,
alleviate.
They are out
Then how do I hear Elmo?
outside.
because he's outside.
He's okay. Then bring his ass back inside. How can, is he in the backyard and I can still hear him? Wow, that dog's got a bark. He's a little bitty Jack
Yep,
Jack
he's
Russell
big.
Russell.
Terrier.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess it's already 9:40. Let me get on the Twitter machine real quick and send Matthew a message, and then we'll get to Raw. If we have to, 'cause unless Matt Rice, you had anything further to say about
uh,
OVW and
I hope it works out for him, but you're dealing with a company that has a lack of a TV deal, if we're being quite honest. Um, what are you developing, and what is the end goal at the end of the day?
Yeah. Um, I don't know, dude. But it's hopefully they do something with it.
I
That's
mean,
kind of go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a Al Snow and Impact joke or relationship joke kind of thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's weird that Al has decided to attach himself like he has to Impact when Al could have a deal up there, could be an agent in WWE tomorrow if
Oh,
he wanted.
absolutely.
Uh,
But
but
some people want to do their own thing, and if this is
yeah, I mean, no, I get what you're saying, and it's important, but to do what you want to do, especially when you're in a position to be able to do it.
right,
Uh, but
I mean that's how Rocky Mountain Pro got started. Was Mercury Yaden leaving TNA at the time and starting the the wrestling academy there in Denver and spawning that into an actual promotion, and now he's got the academy, the school, and the promotion, and because he wanted to start something on his own, and seems to be flourishing with it, and now they have TV deals, UK, Canada, here, Twitch. Just held the third. I brought this up last week. Only the third promotion in the history of the Pepsi Center in Denver to have a wrestling event held there. The other two being WWE and WCW. So all the best to you, Al, and getting that working. And
Okay.
I'm not sure I agree with the being the developmental for Impact, but hey, it's a start, I guess.
yeah,
Speaking of Impact, real quick, and then we'll move on to something else because we're talking about stuff that Morris vaguely keeps up with. Has anybody kept up with the Disco Inferno Impact stuff the last few weeks?
I try to purge my memory of Disco Inferno.
One more
Uh,
time.
I try to purge my memory of Disco Inferno.
That's the same, but the only reason I've been paying attention is, for one, he's pretty much a scumbag with how his views towards women's wrestling and stuff, and how all this came about of him being like high up in Impact and stuff, and it was basically just been a joke, like a big
They,
rib on him.
yeah, it's pretty much turned into let's make fun of this guy by having
Yes,
him basically get chumped out to everything that he ever
everything
liked
he
about
doesn't
women's
like. Yeah,
wrestling.
yes, everything he doesn't like. Like, eat
Well,
crow.
remember when he said he liked it better when the women were strictly, I won't use TNA, but this.
Yes,
Um, and here we have him in a program where he's face to face with a woman who is exactly that. And I don't mean to disparage Scarlett Boudreaux, but let's call a spade here.
yes. Let's be honest about it, people.
She's what 25 and blonde and gorgeous and basically wrestles in her lingerie. That's what she does. But I like her spin on it is that this is her owning who she is,
Yeah,
not being told what to do. And of course, Disco's just being your typical male chauvinist, and you know, again, Disco. Why? It's funny that they're using Disco to tell this story, but it means that Disco Inferno was somewhat relevant in the wrestling world in the year 2019, and that's not a
yeah.
world I want to live in.
And this coming from a lifelong Browns fan.
Yeah. At this point, they should just bring back Alex Wright. And
Oh, why, sir? Why? Why? Why would you say such things?
Hey,
I
Dad.
say, sir, why not?
Yes, sir. What's up, Mosky?
Well, finally, Mom put the little dogs back in, but put Joe in the bathroom.
Yeah, I
Now
see
he,
the bathroom. I see the bathroom light on.
but he should try to put the door out.
You're gonna have to do something. I don't figure something out. Shall we regrettably move on to Raw?
Yes.
Moving right along to Raw, to Raw. Moving right along to Raw.
Oh, look, a
Hey,
train. I'll just go step in front of it.
yeah. Speaking of that traffic you were talking about earlier, like I would have rather played in that than watched this Raw.
I would have rather walked in the middle of DC traffic than.
I'd root for the Ohio State Buckeyes during the tournament if somebody said you can get your 3 hours back from watching this crap show. Well,
Again,
and
it's. Let's just start from the beginning.
shall we?
Yes.
Which one of the worst parts about the show was the beginning. Uh, it opens with turn the TV off. Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
Uh,
I remember.
it was just last night, son. I hope so. Surely your age isn't catching up with you that fast.
I
These,
know
these
what it is. I remember
Then
what it said.
okay, then go ahead and tell us what happened. Brock and Heyman come out. Go ahead.
And Buck and Paul come out. Then
I
later,
love it, Paul. I love it, Brock and Paul.
Buck
Nice.
and Buck and Paul come out. But then Drew comes out and he
You
talks
skip.
to
Go ahead.
and 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 Drew said that he's gonna show that he can beat Seth Rollins, and then he said that Brock can find a new opponent for WrestleMania if he can beat Seth Rollins.
Yeah, like literally beat him up, injure him. Where Brock's gonna have to find a new opponent. Um, you missed a little step in there, and that's why Drew came out because. And I'm just gonna start using this from now on podcasts. I'm
Oh
never gonna call him Heyman again. I'm gonna just call him Paul. When
yes,
Paul kept how much
I thought for
damage
it.
Drew has done to the Shield and stuff,
And then
then
Seth came out and hit Drew McIntyre with a chair, which everybody in the whole building just started to laugh. Well,
I don't know if they laughed. They cheered
they
and
enjoyed it.
they were
They
chanting.
enjoyed it
Yes, they weren't laughing
because
like haha funny. They were enjoying it and chanting "Burn it down."
yeah, to get revenge for what Drew did to Aunt Dean and Roman.
Yes,
Did you catch that video that someone took from the opposite angle of
yes. The
those
cameraman
chair shots?
doing squats. Yes,
The cameraman moving the camera up and down
Mm-hmm.
to
like
follow the chair. That is Kevin Dunn in that
excuse
dude's
me.
ear telling him to do that.
He-
If you have
That's it.
motion, if you
That's
have
his gym
motion
workout.
sickness,
Yeah.
could you imagine sitting there watching that and you are prone to dizziness or motion sickness? And this fool is just going up and down, up and down. I don't need to follow the camera. I don't need to follow the chair shots.
Oh,
It looked
Oh
like you were
man.
standing on a boat and just rocking back and forth.
Yes. Getting his squats in. That was so bad. Oh, no. And yes, that's Kevin Dunn producing 101 right there. Um, which makes it even worse because if you I forget if it was cage side seats. I think it was cage side that put from both angles up at the same time in sync. And not only is he doing the squatting up down stuff, but he's zooming in and out at the same time. Oh my gosh.
I would sue them
Uh,
because I'm pretty sure that gives somebody a seizure.
yes. I hear Shadow.
Everybody can hear
Oh,
Shadow.
yes. What were your thoughts on the actual segment, though?
I understand they're
What?
trying to get Seth over, and we're trying. Okay, well now we're trying to build towards Mania, and we're going to get Drew versus Roman. It sounds like good for Drew. This will be his biggest match in the company. Now we were right
Yes.
back on the mid card. Um, so they're trying to do this.
Okay, go ahead and let him out of the bathroom, Candace. I mean, we can't have this. Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, sorry about the noise.
We're used to it. At least it is a match chair.
Yes.
Um, it. I guess I have to basically be like this. It's Brock. Anything involving Brock, I kind of tune out because I don't know
Because
what I
it's
mean.
Brock.
It's Brock.
because it's broccoli.
It's broccoli.
Brockle. And Paul is so redundant anymore with his promos that even he doesn't hype me up for anything like
Has Paul
get
lost it?
I can't really say for sure because they haven't allowed him to do anything different. Like it's
Which
literally the same. He's
which is
lost
weird
it at least
because
in this sense. Go ahead.
well, I only wanted to bring up because it's weird that he's cutting this generic paint by numbers promo that he's cut time and time again, but he's also agenting and writing for
Ronda stuff
Ronda.
that's just as bad, if not worse.
Yes, if
Yeah.
worse. So is this a case of him working within the confines of what WWE wants, or is this what Paul truly thinks will work?
Hard to say, man. Hard to.
Because I've never
I
thought Paul's never been a guy to take orders all the time.
right.
We know this. Remember that SmackDown promo years ago during the
Oh
invasion,
man. Oh yes.
where he basically read Vince McMahon for filth, but it was a worked suit. But he pretty much
Yes.
got to say nearly everything he wanted to say. That's Paul. What we're
Right.
getting now is very toned down and not like him. So I'm torn between two things. All I know is that I don't find it entertaining.
Right. And again, this ties back to the question. My original answer is it's hard to say right now, even outside the Brock stuff with him, helping and agenting um, Ronda's stuff. Like because I'm sorry, not sorry. A lot of that's on Ronda for her delivery, and she's just incapable of talking. Like she's just so bad at it. Does anybody have chat open, by the way?
No, I
I
don't.
meant to ask before we went live. She's just so. You could write her a gold mine of promos, and she's gonna
Oh.
find a way of fouling it up. Good on Chicago for booing the crap out of Heyman and Brock though. Um,
I hear Chicago behaved kinda.
yeah, they were. It's a kind of weird Chicago crowd. Like Chicago's always weird, but they nothing I was expecting actually happened. But they did. A few of them when the booze kind of started subsiding, like a section of the crowd did do the Paul shtick with him of the "My name is Paul Heyman," but just a few of them. Like usually, like the whole arena. But they just
Did they
stuck to their gun.
chant?
No,
Did they chant the name?
no, they did not.
Good.
Nope, nope. The entire night,
So maybe they finally taken the hint.
which was surprising because I just knew during the Ronda segment we were going to get the chant. And for those that might not know, and I think even Morris knows who we're talking about, CM Punk chants. I thought it was going to happen during the Ronda segment, and um, I didn't hear any CM Punk chants. There might have been a faint few here and there, but nothing like the entire crowd was hijacking the show with CM Punk chants.
Good. So what did we get after this segment? Unless Allie wants to weigh in. Did you watch it, Allie?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, before we get to the next segment, this kind of you brought it up about apparently we are. I guess next week will really tell us. Just a spoiler alert. Neither Dane nor Roman were on this episode. Um, but apparently we are getting Drew. I'm still thinking there might be a chance of that tag team match I've been saying of Corbin and Drew versus Dean and Roman.
We'll get to Corbin later, but I
Yeah,
think they're
but
gonna wait.
that's
They're gonna
um,
wait too late, and so we're gonna probably have the singles match.
AA. I guess the beatdown Drew gave Dean last week might have been his TV write off. What are your thoughts?
It's it's quite possible. It is quite
That
possible.
if we don't see Dean next week, yeah, he's
I mean, I find it weird that they'd write him off 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, 2 weeks, right?
yeah, it's 2.5 now, but they wrote him off
Okay.
last week, so 27 days. Basically, they wrote him off a month before Mania.
That feels odd, but it is what it is. You do
Yeah,
your time, and then they write you off if you're not going to come back. Hell,
I
they've
just
pulled Gallows and Anderson from everything.
no, they just pulled him from live events or from yeah, live events.
It's not like
So
they're going to be on pay-per-views, so they
hey,
might have well pulled them from
somebody's got to be
everywhere.
into Andre.
Oh God.
Um, Morris, would you any other thoughts on what does Brock do for you anymore, Morris? I know you at one time you were a fan, but since you just swerved us earlier with liking Becky again, um, what do you think about Brock anymore, Mosky?
I think of him as no, I
No,
did not.
we can hear.
I thought about Brock is just terrible. He does not even show up at shows a lot. He can't even come to a show because he doesn't want to. Quote, he doesn't want to.
And Moore's gonna throw up quote. He doesn't want to. I said this the other day. They could hold Raw in Brock's literal backyard, and he would still not show up.
Remember what they said, kids. There's only two things real in this business: the money and the miles. Brock's got plenty of money, so why would he drive the miles?
um, yeah, this is just. I guess they're trying to hype this Seth Brock stuff up. Seth's doing his part as much as he can, but it's still Brock. When you boil it down, it's still, or when you
At
burn
the
it
end,
down, it's still Brock.
right? It's all going to come down to whether or not Brock wants to play ball. And if he doesn't, they're going to have a crappy match, and it is what it is. That's what Brock does. But if Brock wants to play ball and go out there and actually be a willing participant in the match and actually want to work, there's no better. I stand by the fact there's probably no better professional wrestler on the planet. But
Then Brock,
yeah, Brock. If Brock wants to show up and do the deal and work and
yeah,
not do what he did to Dean, and
there's so many
actually
ifs
work with
though.
Seth. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but if you take all the ifs out of it, I really don't think there's a better pro wrestler on the planet.
you
But
can find him at
right,
PWFan01 on Twitter.
yep,
It's not that hot of a take, but it's the ifs that are distracting so much.
yeah,
But if he would show up, if he would, do the work and not do like you say things like he did at WrestleMania against Dean, like absolutely, he's if nothing else in the conversation. Because when he wants to, dude can sell. Um, Even when he really doesn't want to, dudes at least sell some. Um, he's at least in the conversation.
yeah.
Um,
Uh, but we can move on from Brock.
do we have to? Because the next up is Bobby Lashley with Leo Rush versus Finn Balor.
Light me on fire.
Oh, actually, it's a tag match, and this was the dumbest damn. Sorry, Moski. The dumbest thing ever because um, Finn gets a partner of his choice, and
It
even
was.
Michael Cole is. Gee, he literally said, "Gee, I wonder who it could be. I think it might be a monster of a pick." Like just, and it was so foreshadowed and so dumb. Anyway, his mystery partner is Braun, and we get Braun and Finn versus Bob and Leo. What'd
There
you
you
think of
go.
this match, Moski? What'd you think?
I think I think at the end it was starting to get interesting because Bobby just left Leo Rush. That is kind
Yeah,
of weird. I thought they were partners. Did you guys think they were partners trying to get along again?
they have this on and off kind of relationship. Like they just got back together at Fastlane last week for one of the dumbest, or Raw last week on one of the dumbest moves ever and putting the belt back on Bob. Um, but yeah, Bob ends up just leaving, and there was some good like it's Braun, it's Leo, it's Bobby. There's gonna be some MDK spots in there, and it's always fun just watching Leo Rush just get thrown around like a rag doll.
Did Leo come out of that okay? Because I heard after the match, doctors were down after at ring off TV.
Yeah, yeah. They turned the lights down, and Dr. Mon and trainers came out. The only update that I've seen or heard is from Leo himself, either late last night or early this morning. Sent out a tweet and said some good news and some bad news, but I haven't. The doctors did come check on him, and usually they don't do that unless it's because it was during commercial break and they
Hmm.
turned the the house lights down and stuff where you can't really see. And it wasn't mentioned again, like on TV. It wasn't mentioned on WWE Twitter. The only mention was Leo. Like I say, last night or early this morning. That good news and bad news. So
Here's my problem with this whole thing.
it's
Never should have.
repetitive. It's dumb.
Yes,
It's
yes. Keep going. I mean, there's a lot of problems here, but we've taken the belt off the babyface for reasons. We've now injected Braun Strowman in a complete blunder. They did the mystery partner thing because some people were saying Sammy was supposed to be here on Raw.
yeah. But then they give it away like
That's 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 either Vince being willfully dumb or Michael Cole just being Michael Cole.
it had to the way the way it was how it came across because he did it more than once. It had to be written like that of but it's dumb either way. It's just dumb. And obviously Matt's still not here, and I need to. We can keep talking, but I need to get the nightly posted. But yeah, it's just it's so frustrating being a Balor fan and seeing him win the IC title and not
Losing.
just losing it right back. There you go, Moski. Losing it, but then the same crap.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about the noise. I'm just playing
It,
a little.
that's okay. You're playing with your Hot Wheels, aren't you? I can tell.
Yes, sir. Also
Um,
playing with my think engines.
more because you used to be a big fan of Braun. I know you're still a fan of. What do you think about all this and what they're doing with Balor and Braun? And I know you like Leo, but you don't like Bobby.
I thought about this as I think Bobby should just leave everybody alone. Oh,
Like, what do you
that
mean?
I mean, quit terror. I want him to quit terrorizing people, telling him. I have no idea what I'm just saying. I was getting so confused.
You want him like
I said the wrong person. I think Finn and Bond should be partners because of how good they are together.
oh please no, don't do that to me, Moski.
Do it, do it, do it,
Do
do
it.
it.
Do it.
Do it, do it, do it. It'd be
No,
really
do
I
not
mean,
pair them up together.
he brings up a good point. What's left for them?
I mean, because somebody pointed this out, or actually I pointed it out to myself with Braun pairing with Balor. It it's like Braun pairing with Nicholas again, like just based on the size.
Yes, but Finn is better.
Well, Nicholas is undefeated.
Nicholas is
at
only
Wrestle-
2 years older. Oh wait. Hey Morris, how would you like to be in the main event at WrestleMania?
yes, yes,
cool.
yes,
I
yes.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear it. What did he say?
We were just saying that you were almost the same age as Nicholas, the kid who tag team with Braun at Mania. So I was just asking, how would you like to wrestle at WrestleMania? Because clearly there's an opening.
Yes, I can. I have. My mom has seen. I can beat up my own dad.
Yes, we wrestle.
I've been. Yeah, I always win.
I the hell I do. I won a couple of times. I've gone through tables and everything else for this boy. Like seriously, like I used to go. I've done, or actually, I tried doing a backflip off the bar one time.
And
No,
Yeah,
I'm
how
not
did that
my
gonna
work
say
elbow.
out?
that.
What?
Hey, guess
Uh,
what? Guess what, everyone?
What?
What's up?
You know my dad and my mom usually wrestle too.
We did a couple of. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We did a couple of times because you made us.
So
And it
how
was a
bad
fun.
did Candace beat you?
Yes,
One
she
more time.
did.
Morris. I didn't hear Miss AA.
How bad did Miss Candace beat you?
Oh, she whooped my butt.
Yeah, she
She's
does every.
always Yeah, she's always sneaky with like the roll up pins and the distractions. And
well,
Matt
she
should be here.
actually did hit.
Go ahead.
She did actually also hit you with the belt the other day.
Yes, yes, and I have Candace. I told everybody, and I have photographic proof too.
What is
She
it?
got when you hit me with the belt in my back right before the podcast a few weeks ago.
That shit was funny.
That shit was not funny. That hurt
We
like
found it
hell.
hysterical.
Cussing in front of child, cussing in front of child.
Okay, it
Wow.
hurt like poop. Yeah.
Oh, I do know how bad
Uh,
she beat. Yeah, you better be prepared next time I pair you to wrestle. You better be prepared, Dad.
I'm too old, buddy. I'm too old. I retired.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the Saudi
so,
money's good enough, then I might come
We can do
back.
it one last time. One
but
last time.
Oh Lord,
One more, one more match.
one more match.
so we can
Matt.
laugh.
Triple threat
Okay,
match. Me, you.
yes, Mosky. Let other people talk real quick. What were you saying, Rice?
Well, I mean, unless you guys want to continue on something with Finn, what happened after this? Because there's a portion of the show I really want to talk about.
Uh-uh.
I'm just so tired of the Finn booking and and this is just like an umbrella of how bad Raw is with the heel face stuff. Like so,
Yeah.
like it's literally it's awful. It's hard to watch. Um, yeah, especially being a Balor mark and uh
I mean, I
and
can't
then
sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say they've treated Balor poorly, but they
no,
also haven't done him any favors.
right, and that's what's so frustrating about it is because I can't really sit here and say that they've done bad by him per se, but they damn sure, like you say, haven't done him any favors. And once they did, like, okay, at least he's got the IC, get on a run, put like usual the IC in a multi-man match with Balor's champion and these crazy spots and maybe get the demon, with the IC title entrance and can't even do that. But right after this, it might have been a couple segments later, but Braun just randomly announces I'm going to be in the Andre at WrestleMania.
We know, Braun. We
Yeah.
know.
Okay then. Um. Oh, good grief. Okay.
Just
Well.
say it.
Oh, it's just frustrating. I could go on and on. This again, the last while, this has been one of the bright spots for me. Um, was hey, they're getting Finn on the right ship, and I don't even have that to hang on to anymore. So, um, let's see. Then we go on and on about how Ronda was fine last week, and I don't know how many times I heard the word undisclosed, undisclosed amount, undisclosed amount.
They might as well be screaming this stuff is fake.
Yes, and we get to Ronda um, walking into the arena with just one of the greatest guys ever is Travis Brown, her husband. Boo. Um, John Cohen informs her she's late. In addition to her fine, management has increased security. Rousey ignores it, whatever, keeps walking, blah, blah, blah. And then we get Alexa Bliss's music hitting. We get a moment of bliss, and her guest is Elias.
Is Alexa's new gimmick that she's I would say something else, but in the presence of the company that we're in, I'll just say that she's interested in all these people who come on her show. Is that her?
Everybody except for Dozer.
Well, yeah, but
Poor Dozer.
that she's hot for all these guys.
Yeah, seems to be.
Because that's say what you will about her skill level, and I get it. Those concerns and critiques are valid, but she's more than
I'll say this: she looked darn good in what she was wearing last night. She had a black.
that girl
Um,
could look good in a gunny sack.
well, true. Like,
But
but anyway,
it's not necessary.
no. And with her training and stuff, like down at the PC and with Quack and Bash and stuff, quack quack.
Quack.
Um, hopefully this is because what else would there be for her to do leading up to Mania anyway? So let her be the host of Mania, and
But
after Mania,
is she gonna be thirsty every week going into Mania?
we'll have 2 weeks to find out.
Oh, that's annoying.
Matt said he was going to be here. I don't see him.
But
But
the
if
stuff
she's the
with go
if
ahead.
she's the host of Mania, shouldn't she be on Raw and SmackDown both?
No, they've never done that with whoever the host was going to be. They've always stayed on
I
their
was
show. But I know.
yeah, and this so we get um word that the concert this year, because there's always got to be a concert at Mania, will be Elias.
This show is going to take forever.
Forever.
8
I would
hours.
I would have put a word in front of the word forever, but there are children here.
Oh, thank you, my poor virgin ears.
I'll be
Come on,
nice and
Matt.
just go along with that. Uh,
Yes, we were definitely talking about you.
it's 8 hour. Why? There does not need to be an 8 hour WrestleMania. Because if there is, no one's showing up for those early matches.
Yeah, they'll be filling in. I mean, it's still Mania. They'll be
Well,
filling in. Or
yeah.
filing in, filling in, whatever you want
By what match do you expect the crowd to look like a crowd? The fifth?
to.
And by the way, there are already scheduled to be 15 matches on this card.
Yes.
That's too damn much.
They went, their initial goings around was there was going to be 16. I think that got bumped up, speculating yesterday to 19?
18 from what I saw.
18. Okay, 18. I knew it got bumped up. It damn sure didn't get bumped down. Where the hell are you, Matt?
But
We're
you just
stalling as
move.
much as possible.
You just sort of move to the next seg.
Yeah, let's segue into the next seg.
I've had it with all these effing segs on this effing
I'm
plane.
tired of these mother.
This ends when No Way Jose's music hits Congo Line, and No Way is actually one of the ones dressed up attacks Elias, and that leads us to the next segment, which is
Well,
uh,
who's
go ahead.
leading the Congo line?
Oh, heavy machinery. I love Dozer. I love Tucker too, but Dozer is just everything. For one, going back to the beginning of the show, the Mercury Wrestling Academy we mentioned, Dozer's a graduate of that. Mercury Yaden trained him before he went to the Performance Center. So it's one of those like,
Interesting little tidbits.
yeah, it's like one of those things like football players that are like, say, from right here, where I am, are sure Kendrick West, who's a running back for the Chiefs, Devin White, the All-American linebacker for LSU, who's about to go in the top 5 of the NFL draft. Like they're literally from right here. That they went to the same school Morris goes to, so you get a little not nostalgic, a little sense of pride or something in that kind of stuff, like, hey, that's, somebody made good kind of thing, if that makes sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Bueller.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
sense.
so Elias basically just squashes No Way Jose. Um, Mosky, what are your thoughts on? Let's just go ahead and put this all in one bow. Alexa in the Elias segment, Elias being the concert, and they like the Elias no way Jose match, like it was all within like 5 minutes.
I thought about this as pretty cool because Elias is going to a concert at WrestleMania, isn't he?
Yes, and we still have an Elias fan, which I am too. Like we walk
Yeah.
with Elias,
Oh,
especially when he pooped all over Cleveland. Oh, we loved every second of that. Tim Moore's gonna look over there and like, oh, I bet Rice is mad.
Just wait till he comes to Houston.
Oh, sir, shut up,
I know.
sir. No, no, wait till he goes to Austin,
Oh, that's going to
sir,
be fun either way.
sir. Can't stand you.
I know.
Matthew, come on. Um, let's see. Moving on. I This is like one of the reasons because I asked like 4 or 5 times before we got to this. Can we turn it off? Morris got SpongeBob to love a Patty for his birthday. Can we watch SpongeBob instead? Dad, can we
Wow.
watch? Yeah, but I wanted to hear Kurt's announcement for who his WrestleMania opponent's going to be. And boy, oh howdy, was I like, Morris, cover your ears. Shit! Like I really should have just gone ahead and watched something else with these 3 hours. Morris, who's going to be Kurt's opponent at WrestleMania? Who do you announce? Do you remember?
Yes, he announced Baron Corbin as his opponent, and I'm actually surprised about it.
Baron Corbin's been giving him
A little bit.
crap for the little bit of crap for the last few months, and you want to talk about deflating a ball, like just suck all the oxygen out of a room.
And for the first time in a decade, if not longer, the Chicago crowd chanted, "We want Cena."
Yes,
Cena won in the end, you smarks. It,
whatever that noise is, stop it.
Stop.
it. First of all,
Y-
Baron Corbin, this is such. They are setting this up to be such a bait and switch. Even the
Yes,
bait is offended.
yes. Even the bait's like, how dare you? Like, no, no. I'm not going on that hook. No, no, nope.
It's laughable to think that Kurt Angle's last match is going to be with Baron Corbin. It's so
Which
laughable, nobody believes it.
there's a couple people that do, and I tried in a roundabout way of I think my exact words to a friend of ours from Kate's side was, you know, it was so obvious that it's too obvious. I thought they would swerve us, being sarcastic, like, dude, it's a swerve, like it's not gonna be Corbin.
Even
Which
Kurt
leads us
Angle,
back to we're still open for that tag match with Drew and Dean versus Corbin and Drew.
I think they're going to wait so long they can't do that.
Yeah, next week's going to be telling.
If they come out of next week without them pulling the switch, they're going to go into Mania and pull the switch at Mania.
Yeah, well, when do you expect them to switch Corbin?
Well, what's going to happen is they're going to introduce Corbin. Corbin will come out. Cena's
Well,
music will hit directly after. Attitude
at
adjustment takes out
at
Corbin at
at
Mania.
Mania, at
At
Mania.
Mania. Because the building's already sold out, so why do you need to promote Cena? You already got people's money.
Not all the money you can get from them subscribers, though.
I think, well,
I
that's
was making a
true.
joke.
I
Well,
know, I know.
people are going to watch Mania. It there might be some that, oh, Cena's going to be on the card. Well, actually, I'm kind of downplaying that a little bit more than maybe I should, because I know.
Cena
But with
will
the
pull
whole,
in some viewers.
yeah,
I won't discount that you might be losing some additional people, but I'm saying at the end of the day, whether you're promoting Cena or not,
yeah.
you've
Where's
already.
the R Truth? We already got your money. We already got your money.
I mean, it just makes sense for it to be Cena. Everyone's going to expect it to be Cena, so let's just cut to the chase. I will say I'd rather have the 3 weeks of anticipation leading into the match for the story to be told of Angle versus Cena for the last time.
Yeah.
Um,
And do it in reverse for those that don't know, Cena was, or Angle was Cena's very first opponent um, on Cena's debut. And Cena answered Angle's challenge. Do it in reverse, like what you just said with, AA to um,
Corbin.
Corbin. Matthew's here. And then have Cena open a challenge, you know, like Angle, like, a little more specific than it was in 2003,
Hmm.
2, 3, 1. Anyway, but do it
One, two,
reverse.
three,
Have
four. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Morris. Happy birthday to you. Dun, dun.
Oh, good God, he's gotten into the drugs again.
I think he read the SmackDown results.
I think he's
Finally,
addicted to cocaine.
finally, WWE wasn't that hard.
I have words about that because I'm pissed.
No, you should be mighty, mighty happy, Mr. Adam.
We'll get there, maybe. I don't know. Um,
Um, we've stalled as much as we could, Matt. Like we're just now on.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I ended up staying later at work than I thought I would.
it's because it's all that free game time.
Right. You weren't working. They have the console set up. You can just sit there and play games.
I wish.
So far, all we talked about. Ohio State sucks. Morris gave
Uh-huh.
his thoughts on Fastlane since we already did that. That was most of the show so far. Ohio State still sucks. Um, I talked to. Then we got into a little bit of Rocky Mountain Pro stuff, not a lot, just some filler stuff, and
Rick
started getting
Burns is a
into
2 seed.
and Adam Rice is a D head, and anyway, so we're just now we've talked about all the boring stuff on Raw, like we're going item by item, and we're just up to or just wrapping up, so we'll get your thoughts on it. Kurt Angle announcing his opponent at Mania is going to be Corbin.
And that's the correct response.
Yeah, silence. Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
Matt's, is that Matt's chair weighing in?
Moski did. Were you hoping for somebody other than Baron Corbin for him to pick Baron Corbin? Anybody but Baron Corbin?
A opponent that, besides Baron Corbin, that I would want for Kurt Angle would be. It's kind of a hard decision to choose. There's so many. I would choose. Hmm. I would. It's too hard to choose who I would pick for Kurt to face. There's so many people I can think of.
Okay, but so you're saying you were disappointed that he did pick Baron Corbin? Like
Yeah.
you like literally like there's so many other people I would have chosen. Like anybody but Corbin. There's so many other people I would have chosen.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. What did you think? In case you um, didn't really want your answer to be just dead silence on Angle picking Corbin, Matt. Or AA, what are your thoughts why Matt's getting I think he's still coming down from the high of reading the SmackDown results.
um, it's going to be a swerve. Like it's painfully obvious. It's going to be a swerve.
Make sure you tap your brakes first before you go into the swerve you're about to go into because it's coming. Make sure your brakes work.
Yeah.
Let's just hope Liv Morgan isn't driving.
Oh Lord. AA, what do you think? Say they stay the course here. What do you think about Corbin being Angle's last opponent?
I think it's an insult to Angle. He deserves better.
Very to the point. Very true. Do you think it's a swerve or?
I don't know. I've given up trying to figure them out.
You want it to be a swerve though, right?
Yes, please. Anyone but Corbin. I'd rather see Michael Cole instead of Corbin.
Let's not get hasty.
Yeah, like, let's, The best thing Baron Corbin's done, and I used to be like the long-haired lone wolf Baron Corbin, like I was a fan. But let's just stick to 2019. The best thing he's done all year was his Royal Rumble entrance when he ripped off the black dress shirt and there was another black dress shirt underneath it. Like that was just funny. Like he's gonna rip his shirt off and
Why is he still wrestling in dress clothes?
hey, at least he takes the vest off now. But
I it, why?
uh, I don't know, dude. Like
For and also, I can't imagine wrestling in flat dress flats.
where they're not real dress flats. They're
Well,
made of.
still,
No, oh, sorry. Kayfabe.
yeah, right.
Sorry.
Yep,
Sorry, sorry. But
yeah.
yeah, that
We keep kayfabe alive around here. No, we don't. We're
um
assholes.
well, at least one of you are you.
Yeah,
Um
me.
but after we get the it's Corbin and Corbin comes out and when Corbin comes out, Chicago actually chants we want Cena. Surprise, surprise, Chicago of all places is not a single CM Punk chant to be heard all night, but we get a we want Cena chant. Huh.
John Cena wins in the end.
He really is like the prototypical Vince McMahon prototype. Like because Vince always wins in the end, and apparently so does Cena.
He all he had to do was out. He basically outlived everybody. Well, not really outlived, but
His
he's
career.
his career outlived the hate. It's absolutely amazing. Hogan's career couldn't do that.
He's still got the ugly twin.
No, this is wow.
You remember that from months ago about the
Yeah,
the Cena Daniel back and forth we were doing in the daily, and I said that, and immediately everybody's like, "Okay, you win." Like we're done. You win.
and now she's with some getting her back broke by some Russian dancer. So it's and Cena has a bad toe. What is going on with John Cena's hair?
Dude,
Is that a raccoon?
are we going Davy Crockett with this? What are we doing?
Don't tell John Cena, but he's starting to look like Bradshaw.
Oh, he started. Yeah, we've been well. Now we're past Bradshaw territory. Now we're shoot. Who was it I saw the other day compared to because now it's getting really longer. Shoot, I can't think of anyway. Which the Angle Corbin thing led to where Kurt's still on his farewell tour, and we get Chad Gable answering at this time.
I would have preferred Gable at Mania.
Yeah, just for all
That's
the it.
sucks we're getting Gable Angle on Raw, but it also kind of sucks we're getting
It sounded like you
Gable.
said Gable anal on Raw. Like,
Sir,
whoa, sir,
sir,
sir, sir.
sir, there is a 10-year-old. Um, Gable. It's but what's really sad is we're getting Gable versus Angle, with Angle being so far past his prime
Yes.
that
Could you
Hey Dad,
imagine? Yes, sir.
I have some bad news.
What's that?
My battery's getting low.
Oh
It's at
no.
27%.
Can you switch out with mommy's phone? If
Mama?
she'll let if she'll let you.
Mama, you let me swap out? Oh, hers is at 74.
I can give you some time.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
have her
can I exit
um
out? my phone.
Yeah, just forward from your text messages, forward the link to mom's phone number, and then just set it up there, and you'll come
So
right back in.
do I hit the arrow to get out?
No, you just hit the middle button between the camera and the microphone that you keep muting. Hit the red button. There you go. His battery
Quickly,
was on 100%.
quickly,
Yeah,
cuss to your
quickly.
heart's content.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
We might be actually saying that depending on what happens next.
um, but yeah, we get Chad. Could you imagine Kurt versus Chad, like both in their primes? Like Chad now and
Chad
Kurt, like
now versus Kurt in like
Oh, I,
2004.
I, I swear to God, I thought I heard chat. Kerningo versus the chat.
oh
Chad still
Lord.
wins. Maybe, I don't know.
And can we do something about Angle's back hair? He doesn't shave it anymore, and his back hair remind. I don't know if everybody remembers George the
Shave
Animal
your back.
Still.
Shave your back.
I know everybody here does. I don't know if people listening. George the Animal Still. Like I'm
Yeah.
getting, like yeah.
The thing is, shaving Kurt's back used to be Karen's job. I'm so sorry.
Why would you? Why? Speaking of people that always win in the end, Jeff.
Yeah, that dude falls upward. It's
Like
amazing.
how? How do you?
He
Pretty
went,
decent. Go
and
ahead.
I just have to say this. In the span of 20 years, he went from being fired on live TV by Vince McMahon to now working for Vince McMahon as a in creative. In
And
20
and a not just like an agent. Like he's got a high up position, like vice, like a 3 letter. Like what the how?
It is the most amazing story
Yes.
of
Of
the most mediocre white dude becoming. Oh God, I love it. Aim low,
pretty
kids. Aim low.
yeah. Aim, aim low and you'll get high. That's
Well,
oh. Speaking of Tennessee,
oh, aim high. Nice.
um, a pretty decent match. Kurt anymore. Um, started off pretty good, but then Kurt he started moving a lot better than he had been, and then it caught up to him towards the end, and we got the shaky Kurt and the bent knees Kurt, and Kurt goes over, of course, and like they've been doing. The hugs and embrace and shaking hands and Chad, saying thank you and Kurt, thanking him back and pretty special moment.
Chad Gable is young Kurt Angle, and
Yes.
so it's. I hope Gable is able to have that career, but that remains to be seen.
And Moski's back.
Yay!
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Welcome. I'm
That
working
that
myself.
that reference is at least 35 years older than him.
We tease him a lot, but we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
Oh, good grief.
He's high, everybody. We don't know why.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, we know
no.
why. This is as high as he gets being straight edge. This is like pinnacle for Matt. Um, after this, any other final thoughts on the Scable, Kurt stuff? AA,
No,
Matt, anybody?
no.
No.
I don't,
I don't really have any thoughts on it
I
because I
don't
didn't
think
watch
so.
it.
I don't think so. We don't.
Okay. Um,
Did I miss anything?
no, sir. We're still talking about the same thing. We're basically talking about Kurt and same thing we were
Gable.
talking about when you left.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and then we go to Sasha coming out with Bailey for what's supposedly a singles match, and I said right away, like we all know where this leads. It's going to be Sasha versus Natalia with Beth at ringside, Bailey at ringside, and the Samoan Sideshow are going to interfere.
The, that was that's a more PG name than I would have given him.
That's sir, 10-year-old. I know I said some
Uh,
cuss words, but I try. Usually it is another word, but on the spot I changed it to Samoan Sideshow.
Good grief.
Good grief.
thank you,
He
Charlie Brown.
he actually sounded like Charlie Brown. Morris actually sounded like Charlie Brown doing it.
Good
Lord.
grief. Actually, do sound like Johnny Brown.
You did the
And I
first
just
time.
said, I just said I'm wrong. Sorry, Charlie. I said Charlie wrong.
Okay.
Charlie wrong.
There's some backstage segments before, after commercial break when Sasha and Bailey are still in the ring, waiting for their opponents, and it's Baron talking to the Revival, Apollo Crews, um, and Apollo says he wants to face Corbin tonight. Joy. Um,
Apollo
Charlie,
Crew on the Lord's work.
yes. Huh. Charlie Caruso's interviewing Sasha and Bailey in the ring, and they mention that the Iconics think they're ducking them because they've appeared on all shows except SmackDown Live. Banks is angry, yada yada yada. Natalia's music hits. We get a one-on-one match. Natalia versus Sasha. Natalia, you're good in the ring, but you're boring as hell.
Natalia's boring in the ring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but at least
Well,
she's not hurting people.
she's competent, but there's nothing about her that excites me. Uh, and I'm sorry, you just because she just so happens to be the only female to ever go through the dungeon doesn't mean she's that great of a worker. And I hate to be like that, but it's kind of true. That's how she sometimes gets treated with kids' gloves because of her time in and everything. But it's in the fact that she's a heart and she went through the dungeon and all that stuff. But nothing about her piques my interest. So when she
Right.
has a match, it's time for me to go make some food.
When isn't time to make food?
Oh, good point.
But yeah, I feel the
Time to
same
make the
way.
donuts.
Mm,
But
donuts.
yeah,
Remember that commercial? Oh man, it was amazing.
Now you
it's
just
just
got me wanting donuts.
Morris, please, you're making a lot of noise, son.
That's Dad walking around. He
Oh,
won't sit. So I'm
sit, boo
really
boo,
getting
sit.
aggravated.
Good dog.
Wait,
Can
which
mom
dog
mute the
was it?
TV or something? That's all we can hear is the TV.
Which dog was it? I must know.
Shadow, he said.
Shadow. And you called him a good dog.
But yeah, this was what you thought it was, and what I figured was the point of this, which was for the Samoan Sideshow to
Okay. No.
come out and. Oh, God. Why?
I know there was that little shoving thing, like the stare down, shove, the between Natty and the Divas of Doom and the Boston Art Connection.
Yes.
Is the story we're going to be told is that Bailey's going to have to cash checks that Sasha writes for her?
That's been the story since they won, though. That's been
I
the
thought,
story all along.
but I thought that it would have kind of stopped once they won the belts.
No, no, that's not how WWE works either.
I'm sorry. I thought I knew. I thought I
Yeah,
knew.
that's we either just drive something into the ground or completely do what the fudge donuts are those?
Nice save.
And that's what we're doing here is driving like it's Bailey being the pop off and Sasha cashing the checks.
I mean,
Eventually,
she had
Sasha's going to write it.
Sasha's out of control.
Sasha's going to write a check Bailey can't cash for her. So
And we're maybe finally we'll get the breakup that was supposed to happen a long time ago.
I mean, that's what
The
happens
feud, I
when you
mean.
put the Iconics.
Sure, sure.
uh,
This was what it was. I don't want to spend too much more time on Nia or this whole thing. Like so many different possibilities, and we get this. And cool for Beth being back, and to a degree, Divas of Doom, but
but after
um,
this,
we get Ricochet and versus Gender, and Gender gets jobber entrance. We get Ricochet's new. After this, we get a Mojo talking to himself in the mirror again, which I whatever that's about. But Ricochet gets his entrance. No Aleister Black in tow or anything, just Ricochet. And we come back from commercial, and Jinder Mahal's in the ring, and they're already like mid match. Ricochet
I
wins.
mean, do you blame them for not wanting to show a gender match?
Not really,
no,
but
they showed
too
the
bad.
match. They just didn't show the entrance.
Well, even
I'd have
that,
laughed.
you
I
want
would
to
have
say that.
laughed. I would have laughed my head off if they came back from commercial with
One, two, three.
Ricochet's hand in the air.
Yes.
I should have done that.
Go to commercial with him coming out his entrance. Come back from commercial with his theme playing and his hand raised. And the only way we know like what happened is Ginger's lying in the on the mat. Like
With
damn.
just a note on
There's
the screen. We wanted to save you guys 10 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
then we go to the newest Hall of Fame. And any other thoughts on this? Because
Yay for Ricochet.
he got to face a former WWE World Champion.
I'm going to go throw up now.
Then we move to the Warrior Award recipient this year is Sue Hutchinson, who was what this award was intended for, who this award was intended for. She's worked for the WWE for over 30 years. Um, I'm not pulling it up now, just off the things off the top of my head. Has done so much for the company and the wrestlers in the backstage and
She was basically the point of contact for Make a Wish
yes,
within the company. I know she was involved with another charity. Um, so she was the backstage person directly responsible for helping sick kids getting to meet their heroes. And if there is anybody in that company who deserves recognition, it's her
yes,
for that alone.
good
I'm
job.
off
And
my soapbox.
Okay.
The power of the warrior
Oh, good grief.
empowers me up with all the diversity in the world. All the mighty warriors looking down above. Yeah.
Sir, it is midnight Adams time. We don't have time for warrior rambling promos. um,
I'm just
all right.
happy this award
I
is
had to
finally
do
being
it.
awarded as
I had to do
intended.
it.
Yes. Next up, we get Ronda making her way to the ring, where she'll face Dana Brooke. Before that, there's an interview backstage with Rollins. Rollins is dedicating his match against Drew McIntyre to Roman and Dean. And
Oh,
somehow he gets in there that it's also for Brock Lesnar. He's going to burn Suplex City to the ground. Okay. You could have just dedicated it to Roman and Dean and left it at that, but I guess that works.
you do you, bro.
Um, and then they and I kind of like how they started doing this a few weeks ago, doing the interviews in gorilla position right before somebody comes out. They interview Dana in gorilla position, and or the new Dana, quote, the new Dana. Had to do it. Um,
People are weird, man.
for those that don't get the reference, people are saying this isn't Dana Brooke. They replaced Dana Brooke, and Dana Brooke's no longer the original Dana Brooke. Hey, where's my tinfoil? I need my tinfoil. So we get Ronda versus Dana, and exactly what you would expect. The bell rings. Literally, the bell rings. Brooke blocks a kick. Rousey immediately knees her in the face, knees her in the ribs, and applies the armbar for the win. That's literally what happened in this match.
But what
She,
happened after?
yes, she wouldn't
15,
let go of the arm. Go ahead, sir.
15 seconds is all it took for her to beat her.
18 seconds.
15?
15.
Yes.
Oh, we got a statistician. Oh, we might need to have you on a little longer, a little more often. I mean, she wouldn't release the armbar, and going back to Jeff Cone. Jeff Cone, yeah, the Major League Baseball pitcher just decides to show
Right.
up. Yeah, um, the security comes out, and I don't even. Somebody else take this because I don't want to talk about this at all because it's
I will. So Dana makes her way somehow to the outside. They basically end up on the outside somehow. And Ronda's continuing the beating on Dana. As security and the referees try to surround her to grab her, someone from the crowd grabs one of the refs and pulls them off of Ronda. It turns out that it's Ronda's husband, UFC fighter Travis Brown, and he hits one of the refs with a forearm, knocking them to the ground. So
Because that's
now,
who needs to be in the storyline.
right, we
stupid, 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 stupid.
Hey guys,
Sir,
I think Ronda should be suspended. If if she keeps doing this to the referees, I don't think they would let her do it.
she's beyond suspension. Fire her. Strip her the belt and shoot fire her. Like,
please.
No. You see, Mox, that's what Ronda wants. That's what she wants because she knows what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Because at WrestleMania, Becky Lynch is going to walk into New Jersey at WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium, and she is going to take Ronda's title and she is going to drive Ronda out of WWE once and for all.
is that what you want? Is that what you want? Yeah, give it to me. That's what I want. Give it to me. Yeah.
Sir,
Is that what
sir,
you want? I'll give it
sir,
to you. I'll give it to you. Oh, sorry.
sir. That kind of
Sir.
dialogue is not necessary around children.
It's on PG WWE dialogue.
I know. But it's still two middle-aged men sounding like they're fighting over something that I don't need to get into.
I was just waiting for the bonk chicka bow wow.
Uh
Da-dun, da-dun,
Da da
da-dun,
da
da-dun,
da
da-dun, da-dun,
da.
da-dun. Da-da-da-da.
Pete, pizza's here.
Look, like Matt said, this is the cherry on top of the. And I'm sorry, guys. I just there's no other vocab I have for this. Shit Sunday.
Cover your
It is
ears, Morris.
it is laughable that we now need to bring into this Rhonda's husband, who, by the way, has been accused of domestic violence.
Yes,
He has been accused of hitting his then girlfriend or ex-wife, I forget. Um, and of course, like I don't believe there were charges filed, but it
there's
stands.
police reports.
There are police reports.
Yeah.
Of,
You know what I just realized? If he did this, he didn't do this for free.
no, he
WWE,
got paid.
yeah,
He
he got a
got
pay,
paid.
he got a paycheck out of that. Just if this story wasn't already going into the direction of making me want to vomit, last night sent me over the edge. Like just
There is so let's.
But it's Vince McMahon, the
I
special guest referee, Pat Patterson, the official timekeeper, or a special ring
okay.
announcer, and Gerald Briscoe, the special guest timekeeper.
Then you have
Matt
people like
I
Bubba
will
Ray.
set you on fire.
Yes. Hey, and
No, no, no,
he
no,
only lives
that's
like
unfair, sir.
he only lives a few hours down from me. I'll volunteer. Like I'll start a GoFundMe page for the gas money, and I'll head that way. And then you get people like Bubba Ray, like the women don't need it, but put Travis Brown in Ronda's corner, put Rick and Charlotte's corner, put who do
Conor
you say in
McGregor.
Becky? Yeah, put Connor and he, I'm seriously, I'm gonna vomit. Like that's. I'm
It
sorry. This is no longer close to being worthy of WrestleMania main event. It's just not.
it's not. And some people who I follow on Twitter said, it's an overreaction to have those feelings because what can you expect from WWE? I'm saying if we're not willing to hold the company to the standards that they've shown they can do, why are we getting this story simultaneously while we're getting the amazing story we're getting with Kofi?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So what am I supposed
It,
to do? Hold WWE to the Kofi standards that we're getting, or to the Becky Lynch story?
right.
The,
It
the
can't be both because hello, people. They're the same company.
so
Both.
which is it?
Yeah.
For me, did you just say both?
Yes.
You
Well,
are you are a provocateur, sir.
and we give you a pass for your Becky fandom and stuff. Oh, breaking news! You did miss earlier during the Morris Fastlane reactions thing. Um, we have a Becky fan again.
Yes. Good boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's not a
That's
dog.
me.
Oh, that's me. Oh, this is just so. Morris, what do you think about this story going into Mania
About
with
Becky,
Charlotte,
Becky,
Becky?
Ronda, and Charlotte.
I think I who thinks triple threat?
Well,
Well,
it is a triple threat.
I
But what
think,
do you?
but no offense,
But what?
Anna's gonna come away for a win. I can see it. I think she's planning something to do to win. What?
Who?
Charlotte has to be coming up with something to win.
Oh,
Somebody,
good grief.
that's the main reason Charlotte is gonna win
Um,
because what?
are,
She's gonna do a big move. I
are,
have no idea what it is. No
are
offense to
you?
Becky, but
Uh,
that's what
oh,
I guarantee
you
that's
know,
what happen.
I love the little. No offense to Becky. um,
Uh,
but what are you still excited for this triple threat, or where are you on your
I'm
excitement level?
excited. More than 3,000 times excited.
so he's still into
I
it.
and now he's. I
The
can already
power of
tell.
Becky Lynch.
The power of
S-
the booty.
somebody is tired.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
That's
not
sir.
sleeping.
Baby.
It's okay
I
to be
can already.
tired, Morris. I'll be heading to bed myself here shortly.
What?
Okay, stop Morris with all that. Um, because you can. That's not what he's been saying like at all. But yeah, just I just
Wasn't even in.
don't even like forget the band-aid. Just rip my arm off and let's be done with this story, please, and move on. Um,
I, I,
What?
it really personally
What?
upsets me that we've now invoked Travis into this,
yeah,
Rhonda's
like
husband.
it's
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I understand he was never. I understand that the courts and the police decided that there was not enough there to press formal charges. But I'm not a legal court. I'm a member of the court of public opinion. And it is my opinion that he has no business being not only in the storyline, but anywhere near the company. But I
right.
can't help that.
Why are we injecting it? Why are we? And it was so
I'm going
easy.
to inject the
Oh God.
WWF with a lethal dose of
So
poison.
All you said was the word inject.
yes. AA.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this shit story? Because that's what it is.
Well,
Like, could they have?
since I haven't been following it,
Well, to a degree, you have just from Twitter and listening to us and stuff. Like, and every week does it seem to just get worse and worse and worse?
yes.
Oh, it's so just get it over with. Moving on. Speaking of getting over with, Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews wins by pinfall. Like what? What the? Literally an hour before this, Kurt Angle announces his big opponent, his farewell final match is going to be against Baron Corbin, and then Apollo Crews pins him clean for the win. Apollo Crews of all people, like I love Uho Nation, Apollo Crews, but I know what they're doing. They're going to make him look weak going into Mania and make Kurt's not losing next Monday or the Monday after. Kurt's going to win all the way until Mania.
Kurt's going to win at Mania.
Oh, this the only thing that came out of this match was you can tell the not saying Corbin's not an athletic guy because his background speaks for itself, but when it comes to in ring stuff, just how much better Apollo is than Corbin when it comes to fluidity with movement and stuff. Like,
Well, there are also different body types and different,
well, true,
there's
but
athleticisms and all that. But Apollo Crews is just a better wrestler and athlete than Corbin, even though they're totally
yeah,
different athletes.
that's what I was trying to say.
Sorry.
Um, I know we're good. Trademarked. Um,
Is it?
yes, sir.
Should be.
I'm printing T-shirts as we speak. Not much to talk about this
Catch on
match.
for WrestleMedia.com.
Sir, no free plugs. No free plugs here, sir.
Unless it's Burger King.
It's presented by Quack My Ribs. Quack My Ribs. Enjoy the heat.
Oh dear
Um,
God.
Matt's on a
but if,
roll.
but if you
Matt's on a bender.
he's just like freebasing. Anywho, if you want to try to get
Well, I
up
haven't
on
set
a,
myself on fire yet, so.
he said yet. If you want to try to get a feud up and going, go to bluechew.com. Or you can do not what they did with this Batista.
oh,
You
thank
can
God he doesn't get that reference.
no thank we can swear words here and there are fine. Other things like no, they go right over Morse's head, and that's how I like it. Um, so we go into the Batista interview, which the memes that have come out of this have been so great because it's like the weirdest. Like he's
What's it?
sitting at it. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead and set the scene.
He's in this room. He's sitting in this nice fancy desk or chair in front of this big fancy mahogany kind of desk, whatever mahogany,
I
and
was gonna say you forgot the
it
why.
it's like a hey Mohegan's a word too. Um,
Mohi.
it it's like three things put together. It's like the um the Oval Office scene mixed with Scarface at his desk scene,
That's
and
what I
it
immediately thought of. Is like he looks like he's a mob boss.
but at the same time behind that are where it looked like the Becky Lynch jail photo, the mugshot stuff. Like
It looks like he's
it,
literally backstage.
yes, yeah, via live from Tampa. Like it looked like it was putting red
First,
curtains
you
up
get the
and
money, then you get the power, then you get the women.
oh, good
Thank
grief!
you, Tony.
But it looked like everything like all encumbersome into this one. Like people took like okay, we're backstage. What can we make it look like? Well, let's make it look real nice. What do you think of when you think office? You think Oval Office. Okay, what do you think of when you think bad guy? Some people might still say Oval Office, but that's neither here nor there. What do you think when you think bad guy? Scarface sitting at that big desk. Okay, well, what? And they just meshed it all together, and we get
It looks like
this.
they meshed it all together and then just threw it against a wall. Literally.
Literally. Jinx Yomiko.
I'll send it to you via UPS.
Yeah. But, and it was just more awkwardness. We have Michael Cole. Michael Cole's doing the interview live from the Raw announce desk, and Michael Cole is like whispering his questions to Batista, kind of like this.
Was he
I
doing an
get
ASMR interview?
it's something like that. It wasn't like a normal like come back from commercial break. Hey, we have Batista live via Tampa, live via satellite from Tampa. Hey Batista, about last like they literally came back from commercial break and he was asking his questions like this, and I know why because they were also playing it, over the sound system in the arena, and so if he was talking too loud, they'd get bad feedback. But it still made for a very weird effing interview for him to be
Oh,
talking like this.
well, let's be honest.
It
That
was,
that that segment is taped. They fed Batista the questions so he could read them on the camera, and then Cole asked the questions live like we're doing a real interview.
yes, but
That's why
yeah,
they did it like that. It's
well, I get that,
useless.
but he still couldn't do it like loud, or the feedback thing was still like it was obviously just like we see every day in news and interviews and stuff like that, where these are the questions you're going to be asked, what's your answers, and then somebody else actually answers or asks the questions. But this was so awkward because Cole's usually not the kind of guy to do this interview, and it was just like,
Yeah,
we want, give me what I want it, give it to
sure.
Batista. How are you
Oh
doing,
my!
honey?
That is vintage Batista.
Oh
I
wow.
quit.
Yeah. um
It's boss time.
but Batista basically beats around the bush a whole lot. And then seriously, like it might have been straight from the Scarface desk, because there must have been some residue or stuff left on the desk, because Batista's just
Is that why his eyes are so red?
he's, I guess he makes sense,
At
but
least now we know what he wanted.
Oh wow. Batista's a coke fiend. All right.
he like contradicts himself about 5 times. Like, it's not about evolution. It's about evolution. Like, what the? You literally just said it's not about
I
evolution.
they've complicated this to the point where once again we're not going to get anything from it.
Yes, in the span of a week, like in a week.
What was so bad about it? The idea of making this Batista this mega heel, smarmy Hollywood. Sorry guys, asshole. Just
Like, if
have him
nothing
come.
else, if you're gonna do this setup, don't say he's in his home office and that was the best part, was the end. Get out of
What
my
part of
office, like,
Batista's home looks like
yes,
the outside of a prison?
and that was like, get out of my office, get out of my office now. Like, what? Like,
With
that's your
drinking
office?
whiskey while he was doing this, like on that episode of The Simpsons, where fake
Yes,
Matt Groening tells him, "Get out of my office."
but like Rice was saying, like, okay, he can't make it. He's quote unquote live via satellite. Put him in Hollywood. Say he's in Hollywood, California.
He's literally shooting a movie right now.
Yes. Don't put
What's
him in
wrong
his
with
quote
saying
unquote.
why
Yeah.
not put him in a trailer like he's sitting in the trailer at the movie set
Yes.
and acting like he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart, but
And
you know, he has to
Morris,
be back
cover
on set.
Morris, cover your ears real quick. And count of three, cover your ears. Three, two,
One, two,
one,
one.
go. Fuck it. Go ahead and still have the same setup, but in his trailer at the movie. Like, have the desk, have the big ass chair, but say he's on location in Hollywood
They they
or on set
they
in
take
Hollywood.
they take the little things that would make a story work
Morris, you can open your ears.
and f them up to the point that you're not going to buy the overall story. Why would I think Batista's house looks like the inside of a middle school? On any level.
and this just goes on and on and on. Like it's just finally we get to the main event. Any other thoughts on Batista interview? Batista, Triple H, Morris, anybody, Bueller?
I do.
What are your thoughts, son?
I thought about this interview as Batista accepting his challenge. I heard that in there.
Yeah, accepting the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I'm playing Hot Wheels, of course.
of course. Okay. So we don't know what Todd's playing, but we probably don't want to know. So we
Apex Legends.
God.
Who?
and, it's not his real name. What I call Russ's brother. Um, so we
One of
get
the
come back.
premier video games.
Hmm?
It's Apex Legends, just in case anybody cares.
The crowd goes silent,
Yep.
and before we get the match of the main event, we get here we go again, bringing this crap up. McIntyre has to cut a promo first, and he's not speaking to Roman Reigns. He's speaking to Joe. Like enough of this
Oh,
shit already.
we're gonna do some outside kayfabe talking. Do me a favor, jam yourself in the eye with an ice pick.
It's here specifically with the Roman stuff, but like with the like the last few weeks of the using shoot names and stuff, it's just tiresome. Except the only person that hasn't used the shoot name is Batista. Batista hasn't said Paul. He still just called him Hunter. Hunter. Like Batista might not know that Hunter's not his real first name.
Did you, speaking of that, remember the video of Flair at his 70th birthday?
Yes.
What is Rick calling Triple H?
Hunter.
He calls him Hunter. They're like this. He's like, guys, we you're calling him Hunter. It's not his name. Oh God, I
Uh,
like. It must be a wrestler thing.
I think so.
that or yeah, but this time like it might just be like my shoot name. Well, to kind of relate it, like my shoot name is D, but it's not my first name, but that's what people call me, and I think by now. But if you're gonna break kayfabe and you're gonna, like, hey, let's do this promo, and we're gonna call each other shoot names, and like, freaking do it,
Bro, I
don't,
swear to God, this is going to
Hey,
get
Dad.
over.
sir.
What's my shoe name?
Morris.
Really? Yeah, that's actually my real first name.
That's what
Oh,
shoot means.
oh, oh! Wow, that is
Why do you
Yeah,
get my...
that is the best.
Let my shoe
yeah.
name be Bodie.
That Modi's a nickname I make for you. Modioti, Moski. Those are just asshole. Those are just like nicknames I have for you.
Oh,
Don't go all. He calls us worse.
Better
But
make your wife.
shoot means real, like your real name.
Oh, I'm just calling wife.
Wife. Well, uh, except on here. But like if I'm talking about you, um, like outside of here, yes. You're
Wife.
nobody knows your shoot name because I just keep it kayfabe and call you wife.
Don't let him kayfabe you. He calls you ball and chain.
He
Oh God. Oh, you go.
he
All
wonders
right.
what you called her.
What is it now?
Adam said, "Don't let me kayfabe you. I call you ball and chain."
Oh Lord. I call him old man.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's a shoot. Like that's shoot.
Oh,
Anyway, so
I'm
we
not
get
topping that.
you're an ass. Sorry. But,
What
so we
happened
get
next?
that we're still on the Drew having to cut a promo because he's angry. He's very angry. He's angry at Joe. He's very angry at Joe.
And
And
you won't
yes, I
like him
know.
when he's angry. He'll turn into Shrek.
Okay, donkey. So
Okay.
he shuts up because Seth um, appears on the Titantron and says that's why he did what he did to him earlier the night. And of course, in case anybody forgot, multiple replays of the throw up inducing camera of up down chair beating and Rollins finally his music hits, he comes running out and they start brawling. The funniest part about this match is they announced it on Instagram as a Falls Count Anywhere match, and it wasn't.
Left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing.
like they, like during Raw, they said it's turned into a Falls Count Anywhere. Nowhere during Raw did they mention it, and it wasn't a Falls Count Anywhere match.
This is a nice little match just to getting us down the road to Mania. But
Yeah,
I won't go anything further than just saying it's a nice match.
yeah, it's Drew wins by pinfall. Um, it's Seth Rollins and Drew. Drew's okay enough. Like it served its purpose, I guess. And then of course we have uh, his music hit again. Brock
Yeah.
comes back out and Rollins stares
Whose
furiously
music?
at Brock. Brock, and this was almost like not quite as bad, but almost as bad as the Brock Roman tug of war a few years ago.
Oh, that was
We're
awful.
we're just gonna sit here and or stand here and like millions of feet apart and just stare at each other.
And Raw goes off the air.
Yeah.
Wow, this show was a lot of suck.
Yes. I think us talking about it was a whole lot better than actually the show itself.
Yeah. And with that said, as much as I would love to stay on here and give Matt grief about the Iconics winning tonight, I can't. I do have to go to work tomorrow because, unlike Morris, I am not on spring break. I have to go make money for some reason. Haven't been explained to me yet.
To pay me to be on the podcast, duh.
I thought you were paying me.
Oh, sir, did you not read the fine print?
Oh.
Okay. As always,
So,
thanks for being on.
thank you guys for having me as always.
Thank you,
You
Adam.
sure you don't? You sure you don't
Thanks,
have a quick
Adam.
little 2 minute
Yeah,
Iconics rant in you?
yeah, I do have a
Bye,
2 minute.
everyone.
Not you, him.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Let's.
I have a big problem trying to, and this is a company wide problem. This isn't just a problem with this particular instance. It's a company thing of when they try to build towards a match by having the champion, one of, or in this, the champion, or in this case, one of the champions lose. That's not how you build. You don't build by immediately screwing the champion or causing a distraction in order for the other team to win. It makes your champions look dumb, and it makes your challengers look weak,
Like they didn't earn. Yeah,
like they didn't earn it. Now, you can excuse that when they're heels, because those are heels' actions. But there has been nothing to this point that leads me to believe that the Iconics should be challengers to Sasha and Bailey's belts.
nope.
Is that a company failing?
Yep.
Yes. I'm not saying it isn't.
I
But
hate
if
the
we're,
whole face the champion in a non-title match, be the champion, get a championship opportunity. I hate that trope so much.
when has that ever been a thing outside of this company?
It
They didn't.
happens here and there, not like WWE does it though.
Would Crockett ever have Arn lose on TV as the television champion
No,
in a studio match?
not not to get another match. Like I beat you in a non-title match, so I get to face you again.
I mean,
Like that was
it, for all intents and purposes, Sasha, Peyton, and Billy on SmackDown are female equivalents of the Mulkey brothers.
Who
oh
are the Mulkey brothers, Adam? Who are they?
The Mulkey brothers
oh
were
Lord.
the Crockett job tag team in down in the Carolinas who lost every time they were on television. Every time. And that's how they became beloved, is because they never could win. But it was the Mulkey brothers' jobs to get the people on TV over on their way to whatever build they were. That's what the Iconics have been. They've been the Mulkey brothers. And now one of the Mulkeys, now all of a sudden, are going to have a tag team title match coming up down the line, or at the very least, they're beating the champions on television. No, that's not how it works. If you wanted Billy and Peyton to be considered credible challengers, they should have been winning before tonight. I understand they have no control over that,
That's
but
very
it
much
All
a
doesn't.
company problem.
that the Iconics challenge Boston Hug time after time after time, and they've never accepted, not once.
Well, here's the thing,
And
and
they
if
finally got their chance, and Peyton and Billy
And while
proved that
they're
they were the best. They proved that they were better than the tag team championships. In fact, the championship should have been on the line because we all know what's going to happen at WrestleMania when the Iconics win the tag team championships. Am I right, Adam, or am I right?
wow, that level of self delusion I haven't seen since.
every week they're issuing this challenge, they're losing to somebody else.
Right, and here's the
We
thing.
want Boston Hug. 1, 2, 3. We want Boston Hug. SmackDown Live now. 1, 2, 3. Like,
It and the worst, they did it by having Lacey Evans come out.
yes.
So now we've got
Oh,
Lacey Evans on the top of this poop Sunday. It
yeah.
it hurts. Um, it hurts Sasha and Bailey, and
And
it doesn't
it
help the
doesn't help.
Iconics.
Thank you. It doesn't help them
Well,
either.
that's what Sasha gets for making fun of the Iconics and catering.
Everybody makes fun of the Iconics and catering.
The Iconics make fun of the Iconics in catering. Speaking of catering and stuff, no Riot Squad on Raw this week. Boo.
I hate this
Boo.
company. I hate this
Boo.
company.
Hiss. Boo.
It's,
All right. Did you say your piece about this?
I've said my piece. I'm gonna go to bed because I have to.
Do you
Thanks
have
again,
to?
everyone. Yes, sir. Unless you want to go to work for me.
I think
That's
my
right.
job might be a bit better.
I'm not going to argue.
Where can they find you, Bryce?
At PWFan01 on Twitter. And occasionally I say in the daily and the nightly, depending on the day. Usually in the daily and on the weekends in the nightly. Thanks again, everyone, for listening. This is my time. Um, it's always a pleasure to be on Talk Wrestling. And just so, because I know he's on, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to Morris for turning the Big 10 this past weekend. I know that's a big deal for both not only you, you're welcome. And I know that's a big deal for you and a big deal for your parents because the teenage years
Thank
are
you.
coming, and you're welcome. And I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Sir,
Uh, yeah,
you didn't have to go there.
I did, and
We're not gonna we're not gonna talk about the engagement, but that's
it's
do
still
not give
funny.
congratulations on the engagement.
Hey,
All
hey,
right, mate.
let's
Sir.
we need to plan everything first before we.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks again, everybody, for having me. I'm Adam Rice, and I will see you guys later on down the road. Have a good one.
All right. Good
Bye.
night, man.
Good
Bye. Night.
night.
Adam.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Uh,
Now
who's
we
Well,
get to SmackDown.
do we have
yay.
to? I guess that's a yes. Um, and Matt, I know, um, uh, I know we're good. Um, like with your fandom and keeping it kayfabe and stuff, but he's really not that wrong with like how not just in this instance, but how that's just kind of
I mean, he's not, but at the same time, I'll take it. I will
oh,
take it.
absolutely. Like oh man, when as soon as like they went over, like
It was a
oh
glorious moment. Fireworks started shooting up in the sky. A shooting star went across the sky. It was quite simply iconic, wasn't it, Mox?
sir, sir, sir. I instantly sent a message to headquarters like, oh God, Matt's gonna be unbearable tonight. Which is fine. Like you get a win. Like that's cool. Like Adam last week had the Browns making moves and stuff, so he could celebrate and be unbearable. And this week you do. And so, are you gonna cue it up later
Q,
or watch? Did you DVR it while you were at
yeah,
work?
I DVR'd both Raw and SmackDown. I'm going to try and watch it tomorrow because I should be off tomorrow.
What a
Keyword is
shoulda,
should.
Um, so it was announced we're gonna have a gauntlet match. Kofi's gonna have to go through a gauntlet match, and I wasn't sure how they were gonna like if it was gonna open the show, but be mid-show, whatever.
I heard it was going to open the show.
That's what I thought. I read that somewhere, but it it didn't. Um, Instead, we
What
get
did end up opening the show?
oh, opening the show was only one of the goats of wrestling history, and that'd be the Miz.
Oh God, I'd rather have Kobe open the show. Freaking babyface Miz, get out of here with that.
He actually cut one hell of a babyface promo. Um,
Too bad I'm going to fast forward through it.
come on, hashtag give the Miz a chance.
I did. He failed. But I hated heel Miz, and I'm going to hate face Miz even more.
He cut a good promo, saying that excuse me, that Shane's not the best in the world. He's a McMahon. He came in. Shoot, I can't word correctly at the moment. But basically that Shane hasn't earned anything. He's a McMahon. That's why he is where he is. Has nothing to do with being any good.
Says the man who openly used Shane McMahon to get ahead in wrestling. I fail to see how Shane is the villain here.
Sir.
Shane's a McMahon.
It got a little weird when Miz was like, I'm paraphrasing, but my dad didn't love me growing up. I had to earn it. Like,
Go on.
you, you just threw your dad under the bus.
Well, quit dragging all this stuff out. You know dang well your dad's gonna want to come get
Uh,
mine. Go.
anyway, yeah, it was the show opened with the Miz promo,
Go.
and now he sacrificed everything for the business, and Shane hasn't had to do all that, and
He
how
jumped off
everybody
Titrons for no reason. He got suplexed
he
through
went,
glass. How is that not sacrifices?
sir, sir, you okay there?
Yes, I am. The roles need to be reversed ASAP. Change course on it now, because it ain't working.
Well, crap, it's not. This is and yeah, and people are saying to I guess people that have like forgot on purpose or just honestly don't remember or weren't watching. Um, yeah, they tried turning Miz face a few years ago, fell flat on its face, and just none of that. Please don't do that. This is different. This is the face Miz we deserve. Which is another reason why I said you're going to be on Barefoot Night because Miz cut one of the best promos.
What did we do to deserve this? That's what I want to know.
We had to do something right.
Yep, we played by the
We,
rules to
we,
get
we
such
must have.
greatness. Hey, later, just the very next segment, you get your big hurrah. So, I mean,
Good.
yeah, just it was a good promo. Um,
Yay!
it was like, what is it, baby?
Just having
Wh-
fun. Anyway.
That's not allowed. You can't have
That is
fun.
allowed.
No.
Yes, it is. Having
The
fun is
crowd
allowed.
actually start. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
The crowd actually once he towards the end of the promo and he mentions how long he's been I've been doing this for 15 years trying to get where I am and he actually gets a you deserve it chant from the crowd, so you can keep going with it, Mosky. No, saying it one.
No.
Do it.
Do it. What do you think of the Miz, Mo?
I think of the Miz. I think I would feel bad for the Miz because Mom just said what we said. He's stupid. Well, good opinion. She stole my answer.
Well, tell Mama to mind her own business. What's her answer?
my mom's answer was he's stupid. I have no idea.
What's your answer though?
My answer is I feel bad for the Miz because all the things they did together, I would I would just regroup with the Miz. You're so
You want
grounded, Mom.
you want Miz to regroup with the Miz? Oh, you are tired, son.
I said Miz to regroup with Shane.
Oh,
It's too late for the Miz to ask forgiveness now. He
yep.
crossed the line, and now he must pay at WrestleMania.
You said all that and didn't even answer my question. What do you think about the Miz though?
I think of the Miz as sad,
Yes.
disappointing, everything that means sad.
What is Crazy Lady doing?
She's in your corner.
I know, I can see her.
What?
Your big bag of change.
Do you know where my
Yes,
big bag of change?
yes, we're not doing this on a live broadcast, guys. Um,
That's not
so
me.
moving on. Okay, we're not doing that. Stop. So we've already talked about. Well, AA didn't weigh in on the Miz or the Iconics going over Boston Hug connection. I already know your thoughts on Miz, but go ahead and reiterate it. AA.
Oh, Miz? It's a shame I
Yeah.
missed this promo because I do like the Miz,
Yes.
and he can cut some
Boo.
good
It's
promos.
it's on YouTube. If you want to
Oh,
check
I'll
it out
look it up.
later.
I'll look it
It's
up.
one of his best. It's a really good fiery face promo, which we don't get a lot anymore. We get a lot of fiery heel promos, but that fiery face promo isn't like. Especially Miz is just one of the best talkers in the company, if not the best. That's you know an argument that can be had. But it was a damn good promo. Um,
Cuss word.
no duh. Iconics going over Boston Hug in a
I think it was
non-title
about
match.
time the Iconics won.
Something.
Whoa, that's
Because they were never given a chance every time, every week. They've never been put on TV. They have never been able for the WWE employees, the higher ups have never been able to see their greatness.
Oh, good grief. Good grief.
that's funny.
Mm.
um, and that was pretty much it. No, excuse me, 1 second. I think we had something in between. We had some backstage segments with the whole AJ Randy Orton stuff. We get a match confirmed for WrestleMania, which is Samoa Joe defending the United States Championship against Rey Mysterio.
Talk about a
Nice.
Mutt and Jeff match up there.
They
Damn.
they
Nice.
do know that was supposed to be Andre, right?
Like Shirley, and don't call me Shirley.
Sure.
Um,
Surely.
I don't.
I forgot an opinion.
What's
Arthur.
that, babe?
Samoa Joe should face Braun Strowman for the champion.
Sir, they're on different brands, sir.
What?
Yeah.
Raw?
One's on.
I thought they were both on Raw.
No, Samoa Joe's on SmackDown.
Oh.
But that would be I'm here for it. Like if they wanted like I'm here for that match. But I mean they blurred the lines with the brand stuff everywhere else. Blur with that.
What's
Um,
going on?
I think that might be Matt's chair. Who knows? Um,
Well, that's
but
why.
I don't think this match ends up being a one-on-one Ray versus Samoa Joe by the time we get to Mania. Um,
Somebody's gonna end up coming too.
Yeah, and like it should be probably Andrade, or we might get a another fatal four way or a ladder match multi man. I don't see this sticking one on one, which is weird since we literally only have two shows, two Raws and two SmackDowns before Mania. Like, damn, are they just gonna cram all the stuff into 2 weeks?
Uh-huh.
Uh huh. My gosh,
Um,
who's doing that?
that would be our special guest makes an appearance every week is Matt Share.
Is that really your chair?
Yes,
Yes, that's
Are you
Matt's
why is it
chair.
moving so much?
it's
Are
a
you?
very, very old chair.
Oh, now I understand. That's why.
Anyway, we get Kevin Owens' new and improved Kevin Owens show. Says this year there's no denying WrestleMania is all about Kofi Kingston. Tonight we see if he can keep the momentum up, and he'll be watching every match very closely. Um, but his guests on the new and improved Kevin Owens show are Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
He's having Becky Lynch on. He's trying to get those ratings up.
Well, and this was just ho hum. They talked about Ronda more than
I do
anything.
have a question though.
What's that?
I know technically Charlotte and Becky are still technically SmackDown superstars, but why aren't they
Yes.
appearing on the Raw? They're challenging for a Raw's title.
Well, they were up until yesterday.
I
Yesterday,
mean, why not
uh,
have Becky on Raw? I mean, Raw does want good ratings, right?
I don't
Yeah.
think Raw care. You would think, but I don't think they care. They got they got that TV money. But yeah, this week, apparently they're just trying to make Ronda into they're at least for this week focused on the Ronda. Just in case you didn't think Ronda was a heel, just in case, like it hasn't been driven into the ground, like just in case. Let's double check. Let's make sure. Um, but one of the lines out of this was Charlotte telling Becky that Becky will be carrying Charlotte's bags by SummerSlam again. Uh, and then Becky hits Charlotte with the right hand. Then little brawl and ramming into barricades and referee swarm. Yeah, just. But I'm so the storyline has been so deflated by everything else. Like this could have been something to make it interesting, and it just I'm on zero caring about this. Thank you, Rhonda, for taking the. And I'm gonna leave it flat on her shoulders and agree with me and disagree with me. I don't care. Like that and the how, how injured is Becky's leg? Like the crutches and like the months we went through that. Anywho, um, Then we get to an AJ backstage interview talking about Randy Orton and yada yada yada. And Daniel Bryan, of all things, gets on the microphone and says that Kofi Kingston being in the gauntlet match tonight is an injustice because he doesn't deserve the opportunity. Like, where everybody else is saying it's an injustice, like to make Kofi go through all that, Daniel flat out says the opposite. It's an injustice that he gets the opportunity at all. The new Daniel Bryan is, like in a kayfabe way, in a good way. Like I hate him, I loathe him so much. He's such a, oh, I hate those kind of people.
Hey,
Sir,
who in this podcast, between all four of us, hates the new Daniel Bryan? Me. Who else?
me.
Mm. Not me.
Miss Julia?
What?
Well, I haven't seen much of it, but from what I've heard, he's become a really unlikable person.
Yeah,
So
he's
what
doing
you
his
think?
job.
Yeah, I think he's become a real bad person. I,
Well, unlikable. Like he's playing a bad guy and he's doing well at it.
why is he even playing a bad guy?
That's kind of like what he is in real life with the whole vegan stuff and save the planet stuff. And but anyway, we start off with Kofi versus Sheamus. Kofi eliminates Sheamus with pinfall after Trouble in Paradise. Next, Cesaro enters and Kofi eliminates him with the SOS. Um, Rowan's eliminated by disqualification. Um, Kofi Kingston eliminates Samoa Joe with a folding press, which was um, pretty neat. Samoa Joe went for the Coquina clutch, and Kofi kind of flipped it and got him with the folding press. And then,
So,
um, and then
Kofi wins.
Kofi finally wins by last eliminating Randy Orton by pinfall with another folding press to become number one contender for the WWE Championship.
Yay!
Um, Big E and Xavier come out to celebrate with them. And then hell breaks loose.
Mhm.
How?
Vince comes out with a microphone. And he just wants to say what's on everyone's mind. And that's to congratulate Kofi. What he's done is miraculous. And he is going to WrestleMania.
Yes.
As long as he can defeat one less opponent.
And who's
Mm.
that?
He kicks Xavier and Big E out of the arena, the ring. Kofi has to beat Daniel Bryan.
Mm.
So it's Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, like right now, as the WWE number one contenders match. And Daniel Bryan wins.
So what does
Mm.
that mean?
Kofi's no longer a number one contender.
I want a rematch.
And
Car. More?
so yeah, that's I mean we know where they're going, but and now it's being said places that they're gonna put Kofi in the Andre and make if Kofi wins, he gets to face Daniel later in the show at WrestleMania for the championship. But this is just too much. Like this is overkill in my opinion. Anybody? Bueller.
It looks like that they're just kind of revamping the story that they did with Daniel Bryan
Yeah,
back when
like
he
that.
had to
Pretty
face
much.
Triple H to make it a triple threat between Randy Orton and Batista and Daniel Bryan for the championship. And
Pretty much.
Right.
And honestly, I'm not a fan of what happened tonight because it feels like they're just about ready to jump the shark at this point.
I'm gonna get down.
Yeah, it's I think it did tonight. Like at least with the Triple H Daniel match to qualify, like it all happened in one night, and and this is just it's just too much for like I'm still all for Kofi and he's still gonna get into the match. This was just too much, like especially all in one episode of SmackDown. To yeah, yeah I didn't like it. Just my opinion. But with that said, that's Raw and SmackDown and more with his Fastlane reactions for the week. Yeah, they just seem to take everything hot they can and make it cold, and then they seem to think or seem to take the coldest things they can and try to make them hot. Hence the iconic Sasha Bailey match, and it's not really.
Cause you're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then
Yes,
you're
and
no.
you're
You're
no.
in, then you're out. You're up, then you're down.
It's just sort of. I don't. Oh, can't we just? There's such simpler ways of doing things than a lot of the stories they're telling. And even when you get to the most simplest, like Batista versus Triple H, even then it's like off the rails kind of promos and stuff. Like, ah, yeah, whatever. Well, I'm still watching Mania and still excited to see some things. And again, they have 2 weeks to follow through, so what direction they can go after this. I just not a fan of the every time Kofi overcomes like here's another one, here's another like once or twice like I okay like really get behind Kofi, but repeatedly doing this, it's just
Yeah,
like still behind
it gets
Kofi.
it gets old after a while.
Yeah, still behind Kofi. Don't get me wrong, but
And I'm still on Becky.
again,
and the
sorry.
Iconics.
Yes. Still can't believe Adam compared them to the Mulkey brothers. Can't
That's
believe the besmirchment.
that was crazy. Um, with that said, any other thoughts on this week before we head out till next time? Anybody?
Nope.
Where can they find you, Madam Matt?
No, we don't have any.
Oh. Well, let's start there. Morris, thank you so much for being on again. And it's past midnight our time. I know you're exhausted, and thanks for staying up. And sorry there towards the end that um we talked so a little without you, but it's always good to get an insight on what a younger
It's okay.
fan sees things through and stuff like that. And as always, I love you. And
We love you.
I love you too. We all love each other.
That's right.
oh,
Bye.
Bye,
I love
Morris.
you. Thank you for
Happy
being
belated
on.
birthday, Morris.
Thanks.
Um, where can they find you, Metalman?
We can find me on Twitter at MetalMat15. Also, on Kate's on Seats, now in the daily and the nightly. And it looks like this Friday I will be off. So this week I will have another Ruthless Aggression Era podcast. And it's going to be a double header episode. It's going to be on Day of Reckoning for the GameCube as well as Unforgiven 2004. I'm not sure who I'm going to be able to get for a guest this week. I'm going to maybe try and get Angel on podcast. But hopefully this week we will be able to kind of get Ruthless Aggression Era podcast back on a steady schedule.
I'm getting for the pay per view if you need me.
Yeah, but I mean, we can always use a top five, wouldn't you say, Mox?
Top five iconic sauces? Sure.
A what?
Nothing? Nothing?
What'd you say?
Nothing?
You heard him.
Nothing?
Oh, I heard him. I heard him.
It's true. It's damn true.
Me and
You can
Angel
find me
will
at
have to talk to you about that.
Well, I'm
have a
happy
you can
the
find
iconic
five.
one.
Have a top five Burger King again.
oh Lord help us. You can find me at Twitter at Fireman6809, KZT's Prince Muxley Lopez. Um, where can they find you and us in general?
Well, you can find me on the bird thing at Lady Rashana.
Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Sorry.
You can find me at Cage Side Seats as Ambrose Sally. And then you can find us on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G.
And same on Twitter, Violent Wrestling, no G. Well, I think that's about wraps us up for tonight. And tune in for another episode where we'll be talking more of our independent scene and stuff. Got some news about Bayou Independent Wrestling and Dallas Championship Wrestling and stuff. I
And
need to get
Rocky Mountain
to
Pro.
Rocky Mountain Pro, of course. Um, all the little good stuff. I'm sure Matt's got some MLW stuff he can't wait to tell everyone about. And until next time,
Wait to tell everyone about?
MLW.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Anyway, until next time, peace.
Good night,
you're,
everyone.
you're a jackass.